Listen, as I've mentioned here a number of times, I mentioned on the CBS broadcast, a ton of respect for Michigan State and the team that they have. Obviously they're coming back from a tough deal with coming back from COVID and playing a couple times here. So I think there's not a better late season coach in the country than Tom. So obviously when we see them here again in a few weeks, we know it's going to be a much different team. I'm proud of our guys' effort. I thought we were able to control certain aspects of the game and the things we focused on. I think they took into the game plan. We still have some possessions that we need to fix and some things we need to do better. That kind of weighs on me as much as anything, but really good win for our team, and a really good win for us here moving forward.
All righty, we'll start it out with Steve Hellwagon, 247.
Yeah, Coach, obviously they struggled at Rutgers the other night, lost by 30 over there. And you guys kind of held them in the same realm, 32% shooting for them tonight. I know you fouled them probably 10 more times than you wanted to, but otherwise, just your thought about defensive effort and the results that you got and making life tough on them overall.
I thought we were able to make it difficult for them in transition, where they're so good, Steve. And, they missed some shots. Listen, they missed some shots that I think they'll make, and they'll certainly make at their place, and they'll make once they get their legs back. There's no question. But I thought overall we did some things defensively that were good. And I thought we had, outside of fouling, Steve, I thought we did pretty good job on our assignments, but we had too many. We fouled too much, and that's again my fault. We got to get better at that. But really solid defensive effort overall.
CJ Walker looks like he's kind of getting back into the flow of things, and about 3 minutes to go, he came off a curl and hit that shot at the top of the key. This game was kind of teetering one way or the other, and he hits that shot, and you guys had some breathing room. And just your thought of having him to help ride out those moments.
I thought it was a big play. Yeah, it was a big play. He got to his right hand pull up, which he's really effective at, and it's great having him back. It's been great having him back. I thought his ball handling was important for us, but I thought our guys did a good job kind of getting what we wanted there.
Thanks.
All righty, we'll go next to Adam Jardy, Columbus Dispatch.
Chris, I know there's obviously things you're going to dissect about this game, some things you like, some things you don't like, but it seems like in general your team is playing with a pretty good spirit. And I know winning is some of that, but can you just, share what you see on that end? I know that can carry you sometimes maybe when the world is kind of crazy like this, but what kind of spirit do you think your team is playing with right now?
Yeah, really good, Adam. I think I've told you guys this, that we're very much a work in progress. That's still the case for us, but there's no doubt that this group has been a phenomenal group to coach. It really has. In the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of a lot of question marks about our team, it's been a phenomenal group to coach. The challenge for us is getting better, and you can still lose games and be getting better. You can still lose games in this league and be getting better. And I think the challenge for us overall is us getting better here in this closing month and a half stretch and improving in some of those areas. But our group's competitive spirit really from day one, Adam, has been tremendous. And their connectedness has been really good. And hopefully we can finish that way here the last couple months.
Did you feel in the second half, you had the lead, and like Steve was asking you, they made it a verging on dicey there for a minute or two, but did you feel that you guys got a little complacent with the lead, or how did you see the game change? You were up like 18 or 20, and then they started to cut into it.
Yeah, I just think we have to be better. We had some sloppy possessions. We just got to be better, and we've got to be better in those moments. And it's not easy, or else everybody could do that. And there's sometimes you're going to play, and teams are going to make a run on you because they're good, and it's the best league in the country, and it's talented teams you're playing. And Michigan State's obviously a talented team, and give them credit for that. But I did think a couple of the possessions there were self-inflicted. At the same time, listen, a Tom Izzo team's they're not going to fold. They're not going to quit. They're going they're going to fight till the very end. And we expected that. But there are certain things that I'm looking at and saying we do have to clean up.
All righty, we'll go next to Bill Landis, The Athletic.
Hey, Chris, you mentioned CJ's pull up there. We've seen what EJ can do for you kind of in the high post, and we've even seen Seth kind of step into some long twos. Just what makes a team difficult to guard when they are as efficient shooting kind of in the mid-range as you guys appear to be with multiple players?
Well, I think there are times, Bill, where we can put teams out there that have a lot of shooting and then have versatility in how we play offensively and defensively. And, Dwayne's obviously going through a spell of inefficiency, but everybody understands how good of a shooter he is and how he can take over a game. And then obviously Justin has proven that over time here. So it creates some opportunity on the floor for space. And in this league, when everybody defends with great purpose in terms of their scouting, having a space out on the floor is really important. Listen, for 10 years now, I've studied analytics and the analytics of long twos and threes and layups and shot spectrums. And, we could go on a long 30-minute conversation. It would bore you to death, but we could talk about shot spectrum and what's a good shot and don't take long twos. We want our guys to play into their strengths. And E.J. Liddell, through all of the evaluation and charting that we've done, is a very efficient two-point shooter, and in some cases those are long twos. So we're gonna give guys freedom to do that. We're not going to force guys to play away just because analytics says that. Having said that, we're aware of it, and we're aware of the importance of shot spectrum and overall quality of shot.
And I guess along those lines, just your team's, I guess, man-to-man, or I guess like on an individual basis, their ability to understand what is their best shot. Like how well do you think this group understands that?
Good. Probably as good as any group as we've had, as I've coached as a head coach. Some of that comes from experience, Bill, as you know, and playing together, coaching together. And some of that comes from maturity. When guys play to their strengths, there's a freedom there, and they look like the good players they are. When you fight that, it can backfire on you. But guys have really, I think, embraced that. We still don't always take our team's best shot, but all in all, our shot quality's been pretty good.
All righty, we'll go next to Brendan Gulick, Buckeyes Now on SM.
Hi, Chris. Today's the last day of January, and obviously you guys have gone through a pretty impressive stretch of play here. What are you most proud of considering the things that you guys have, in particular, the last few weeks had to go through?
I think as much as anything, our guys' commitment to getting better and to taking learning from one moment to the next. I think that Penn State game and finishing like we did was really, really an important moment for us as a group because we improved upon some of the things we had not done well the week before. I think, again, in this league, the moment you feel like you are you've got it figured out, or you feel like you are in a certain place, you get humbled really quickly. So for us, it's always about focusing on the bricks and not the wall, the daily focus of getting better, because it just can be really humbling playing in this league, and you can get humbled really quickly.
All righty, next up, Patrick Murphy, 247.
Chris, you got asked about Musa when we talked to you the other day, and I'm curious what goes into the decision to get him into games. Is it just matchup based? Today's 16 minutes. I think he's 4-2 the last two games. Is it matchup? Is it certain things
Practice.
You guys see? Okay.
Practice.
Okay. And how do you see him handle when he doesn't have, the games like today where he contributes as much?
Bottom line is Musa practiced well the last couple of days. and he's practiced well in the past, but I thought we felt him in practice, and I thought, listen, at this point, what players have to understand is you're always evaluating how guys practice, and if they don't quite bring the energy in practice, maybe somebody else that brings the energy deserves that opportunity. So I thought he practiced really well, and I just felt like he deserved a look. You're right. His minutes were good. Maybe he didn't have the quote unquote offensive impact, but I still thought he had a really good impact on our game.
All righty, we'll go next to Stephen Means, Cleveland.com.
Chris, you've the last couple of years been really good at maybe tempering expectations. You know, when they get out of hand a little bit. You've been right every single time when telling people to hold on with some of you. You're always right with it, but I mean, now that you've been through a month of Big Ten play, you've got some non-conference games under your belt, and you're kind of entering this last stretch of games here. How do you feel about your team? And do you feel like you need to temper any expectations right now?
Well, I don't really pay much attention to what quote unquote the expectations would be. I totally understand the question, Stephen, and it's a good one. I think I don't bother myself really with paying a whole lot of attention to any of that. I think at the end of the day, as I said, I think this league, you can look and you can say, wow, that team's really, really struggling. They've lost 5 straight. And then in 2 weeks later, you can say, wow, that's the hottest team in the league. They're a top 15 team in the country. It's just there's tremendous swings in this league. So you try to focus on getting better. What I have said, Stephen, from day one about this group, and I don't think I've come off this, is I love their maturity. We've got a group that has a really nice blend of older and young guys. We've got talented players. But I love this group. I've loved coaching this group from day one. We've loved as a coaching staff. So I think their maturity's good, and come on in. And I feel really good about coaching this group. So that gives me optimism that hopefully we can keep getting better.
And then with CJ, Michi's minutes are going to be what they are this year. He's not technically supposed to be here. He's a high school senior technically. When you have to chew him out for clearly not hustling on a play, does CJ maybe say anything to him on the sideline? What's that relationship there which clearly he's here to learn from CJ Walker this year? Yeah,
Michi's going to be a terrific player. Terrific player. He's going to be a terrific player. He just, I think all in all, I think he's going to play more at times. You're right. He should still be in high school, but Michi was great. We just talked through. I thought there was a loose ball that he probably needed to get to, but he's done such great things for this group already, and I know he's going through the rest of the season.
Alrighty, we'll go next to Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch.
Chris, can you hear me? It's a miracle if you can.
Rob, I got you, man. I got you. I appreciate you figuring out whatever the technical issues are and getting them fixed.
It's probably operator error. Anyhow, Justice Suing, does he get the credit he deserves as being a tough guy? Just watching him go into tough areas, dive for loose balls, and what do you like best? What do you like best about him? He's getting tougher. I think he's getting tougher. He certainly didn't come in with that reputation, but he's a physical, talented kid. And I think what people have always said is, okay, he's got to play with more motor, and he's got to play tougher. And that's our job to help him understand that areas where he's not doing that as well. But he's, again, a phenomenal kid to coach. And I thought today, particularly the second half, we don't win the game without him having the second half he did.
All righty, we'll go next to Colin Hass-Hill, 11 Warriors. Colin? Oh. All right, let's try Bruce Hooley. Bruce.
Rob, help Colin with his audio, please.
Chris, your whole message the other night after Penn State was, we don't give away a win no matter how much we might have helped the other team. Today, you seem a little bit more exacting with the fouls on the defensive end. And it's very odd you're ahead of a team the entire game and they shoot more free throws than you do.
Yeah.
So At Northwestern and Purdue at home are two games that I would say, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but two games I would say where you help the other team come back and beat you.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you balance that? What you said the other night, we're happy to win, but you know who you have coming up and you know what happens in the tournament when you help the other team.
I think you're right, Bruce. I think that I'll always reflect on, you'll always reflect on that stuff more as a coach than just like you take losses way you feel losses 10-1 more than you do wins. So I think I'll always reflect on that. We've got to do better in that area. We've got to coach it better. We've got to play it better. We've got to foul less. We've got room for growth. I think, both of those games you mentioned, I think I don't want to take anything away from those teams. We played Northwestern when they were as hot as they've been all year. And obviously Purdue came in and played, they did some things that really bothered us, but I think you have to own the fact that in some of those games we consistently do some things right now that we just have to get better at. And we've got to understand that as a group, and I've got to get them to understand it.
And you're always quick to take the blame for things that I sometimes wonder how they're your fault. You said today it's your fault you fouled too much. I don't think you're out there, so how is it your fault you fouled too much? We
obviously haven't got it through to them enough about now. I will say this, Bruce, that the game, and I don't know how to explain this. Both crews, the last two games have been really good crews, but the game has been called differently. It's been called tighter. So that, has that been some type of edict from top down that the game needs to be called a little bit tighter? I don't know, but it feels like it has been, and we've not adjusted very well, Bruce, and I've not gotten that message through to our guys enough.
All righty, Coach. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, guys.